Master your mind. Transform pain into power with these Stoic principles. All problems are illusions of the mind. The past has no power over the present moment. We believe that pain and suffering are the result of past events, but this is not true. The only thing I have is this instant. Therefore, my entire life happens now. And if I begin to realize that it didn't happen in the past, but is happening now because I am remembering and experiencing it, I can transform it from a positive perspective. When I integrate my memories with the present moment, they lose their power because they lose their status as facts. They become memories. And if it is a memory, it is a thought. And if it is a thought, I am the one thinking it and I can transform it. How I feel now is a product of my thoughts. And my thoughts always belong to me. I can consciously choose what to think. The main cause of unhappiness is never the situation, but your thoughts about it. Even though it's hard to accept, you don't fall into depression. Depression is created by our thoughts about the situations we experience. In the same circumstances, some people sink, while others use them as a crisis for growth and maturity. It is also worth remembering the words from Dan Millman's work, Asterisk, The Peaceful Warrior Asterisk, Sirius 2013. Neither your disappointment nor your anger is caused by the rain. The rain is just a normal manifestation of nature. Your disappointment because of the spoiled picnic and your joy when the sun returns are both the result of your thoughts. We are responsible for what we think and feel. So if you take charge of your mind, you take charge of your life, and you will be free. When that happens, you learn to take responsibility for everything that happens to you. We believe that the problem with our woes lies with others or the environment. But this is not the case. What I experience comes from me. We are slaves to ourselves. If I am free of what I think about you, I can choose what to think. And if what I feel is a consequence of what I think, I can choose what to feel. What generates suffering is not the situation, but our interpretation of the situation. Life is not what happens around us, but that is what we believe, and we feel like victims of life. We don't realize that life is born within. As Tolle says with clarity, the greatest obstacle to enlightenment is the identification with the mind. You are not what you think. Whatever the present moment contains, accept it as if you had chosen it. Every moment is a gift. Everything happens as it should in each instant. Life places the experiences we need most for the evolution of our consciousness in our path. How do we know this is the experience we need? Because it is the experience we are living right now. Tolle writes, "Some changes appear negative on the surface, but you will realize that space is being created in your life for something new to emerge. What a caterpillar calls the end of the world, we call a butterfly." Recognition and acceptance of facts give you freedom regarding them. Tolle concludes, practice presence now. Embrace the place where life happens. Non-resistance is the key to the greatest power in the universe. He adds, most people confuse the now with what happens in the now. But they are two different things. The now is deeper than what happens in it. It is the space in which things happen. Therefore, don't confuse the content of this moment with the now. The now is deeper than any content that arises from it. Becoming aware of the present moment is not thinking. Some people are addicted to thinking, constantly thinking, and it's a strong addiction. Almost all of us can experience, even for a very brief moment each day, what it means to be without thought while being fully aware. It is about reducing mental processes to the minimum, achieving spaces without thoughts in the mind, not unconscious, but conscious without mental processes. Being aware without thinking, without identifying with thoughts, without letting the noise of the mind dominate us. People who cannot achieve those spaces without thoughts, even small gaps between two thoughts, are people with psychological problems. The immediate question is how to quiet the mind, how to numb all those thoughts. We are beings of habit, and habits are built through repetition with consistency and patience. It is essential to develop the habit of not thinking. The first step is to become aware that throughout the day, as we just mentioned, there are those spaces without thoughts, even if they are rare. Sometimes they occur when you are looking at a tree, the sky, or the clouds. Then, seek those spaces actively in activities you normally do, like washing your hands, drinking coffee, or taking the elevator, being aware of the act and the moment, not as a means to an end, but as an end in itself. The accumulation of all these moments, which are many throughout the day, produces a change. All those moments, when we are conscious without thinking, give rise to a state of pure consciousness. According to Tolle, it is more important to have many small moments throughout the day than to meditate for half an hour each day and then spend the rest of the day without having those spaces. He adds, where time once lived, and you made brief visits to the now, live in the now, and make brief visits to the past and the future when necessary to deal with practical aspects of your life situation. There is much to learn from your enemies. Tolle deepens. Relationships themselves are not the cause of pain and unhappiness. They bring to the surface the pain and unhappiness that are already in you. Every person you meet on your path is your teacher, and your greatest enemies are your greatest teachers. Others are but mirrors in which we look at ourselves. When someone angers you, deep down, you are acknowledging that what they say about you matters to you. And it matters because deep down, you know it is true. Because if it were not true, it wouldn't affect you at all. The pain others cause you is nothing but the dissatisfaction you have with yourself. Perhaps that's why Tolle also points out, behind the anger, there is pain. Behind that anger with others, what you are doing is projecting yourself. If small things have the power to bother you, then who are you?